Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about an interesting and highly anticipated topic, the port of The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask for PC and Android, which emerged after the massive Nintendo data leak, known as the Nintendo Gigaleak, that occurred in 2020. This leak contained data from many major games, mainly from Nintendo's 64 titles. In the past, we've seen ports of Mario 64 for PC, Android, and even PlayStation 2. Additionally, there's already a port of Ocarina of Time for PC. Now, it's time for The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. You can decompile the game quickly and run it on both Android and PC. To do this, just download the project from GitHub and use an original ROM of the game. It is recommended to use version 1.0 of the game. I tested it with the American version, and the game was successfully decompiled. I can't guarantee if it works with European or Asian versions. If you encounter any errors with the ROM, try another one. It's important that it's the original ROM. If the CRC doesn't match the original ROM, it won't work. I'll leave the links to the projects on GitHub in the description so you can create your own versions of the game. I will not be providing the ROM used. The game in its PC or Android version offers numerous improvements, such as 16:9 and even 21:9 aspect ratios, and frame rate settings that can be defined by the user. For a Nintendo 64-like experience, you can use 20 FPS, but I used 100 FPS on the Windows version and up to 120 FPS on the Android version. On Android, this was the maximum the app could deliver, as my device has a refresh rate of 165 Hz. There are also options to control the camera using the right analog stick of the controller, but you need to map the controller correctly. Improvements like MSA, increasing or decreasing the internal resolution, autosave, and a wide variety of cheats allow you to customize your game the way you want, whether you're a novice experiencing the game for the first time or just revisiting it. The gameplay on Windows was very pleasant, even using the internal resolution at 1 and MSA at 5. Currently, the game doesn't have any additional enhancements, but it's only a matter of time before mods allow for better textures or language packs that aren't yet supported. All effects are rendered correctly, just as they are on the Nintendo 64, since this is not emulation but a native game. I tested the game with an Xbox Series controller, and it was recognized and configured automatically. I don't know if it's possible to configure it to play on the keyboard. On Android, I also had no issues. After the game is decompiled, just use the app again, and the game will run normally. You won't need to go through the entire process again once it's done. The process takes about 1 minute, depending on your device. Using the ROG Phone 6, I achieved excellent visual quality, with the game using about 30% of my hardware resources. Although I used an external cooler during the recording, it's not necessary, as the game will perform decently even on more modest devices. At the moment, an external controller is still required, as the game doesn't have on-screen controls yet. Using a DualShock 4 connected via Bluetooth, there was no delay and all configuration was done automatically, without the user needing to set up all the buttons one by one. The links to the projects on GitHub are in the description, but you'll need to do the decompilation process yourself. I will not be providing the original ROM used. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.